Hello, we will begin the seventh lecture on church history. Today, we will continue studying the transitional period of the Roman Catholic Church. We will cover the last part of the transitional period. Number 5, Doctrine and Theology. 1. Worship of images. A. Emperor Leo III, Emperor of the Eastern Roman Empire, issued two edicts. First, in 726, Leo III allowed images in churches, but he ordered them to hang the images in a high position so that people would not be able. However, some people were against this. Some citizens, monks, and John of Damascus were opposed to it. Leo III then issued a second edict ordering the complete removal of images from churches. Pope Gregory II and Pope Gregory III appealed to Leo III, and Gregory III declared that those who were against images would be kicked out of the church. B. Concerning this matter, Leo III's son, Emperor Constantine V, summoned a synod in Constantinople in 754. The council prohibited churches, individual houses, and from hanging up images, crosses, and curtains. The Western Church was against this. C. The Seventh Council of Nicaea came to a conclusion on the worship of images. The council was convened in 787 by Emperor Constantine VI. At the time, Constantine VI's mother, Irene, really liked the worship of images, and she was practically acting as regent. As a result, Constantine VI and Pope Hadrian consulted with each other to convene a council. The council reached the following decisions. The council acknowledged images of Jesus, angels, Mary, and saints. It did allow images, but it said that they did not worship images, but God. The council said it was okay for them to light lamps and burn incense. They believed that permitting images does not mean worshipping the images themselves, but worshipping their source. Number two, words concerning the Nicene Creed. They wanted to add the phrase, the Holy Spirit comes from the Father and the Son, to the Nicene Creed. Charlemagne's palace adopted this idea, and eventually the Pope approved of it. However, the Eastern Church did not accept this and became the cause of the split between the Roman Catholic Church and the Eastern Church. Chapter 2, the age of the growth of the Roman Catholic Church. The period is from 800 to 1073. Number 1, Charlemagne the Great. 1. His accession to the throne. Charlemagne the Great is the grandson of Charles Martel, who defeated the Islamic army. He succeeded his father Pepin III as king. Charlemagne acceded to the throne in 768 and served as king for 46 years. He worked hard to expand the territory. Charlemagne carried out 50 punishment wars. He punished the Saracen people of Spain in the west. He punished the Lombards of Italy in the south. He punished the Saxons in the east. Charlemagne's coronation was held on Christmas Day in the year 800. As the Pope laid the golden crown on his head, he gave him the title Emperor of Rome. Number 2, his achievements. Charlemagne greatly expanded the territory. He supported the church. Inspired by Augustine's The City of God, he applied the book in founding his nation. He improved cases. He taught young children psalms, music, and grammar. Christianity also saw a huge development. Monasteries were established in every region, and it was natural for people to remember Sunday. Believers offered tithes, emphasized evangelism, and prohibited the worshipping of images. Charlemagne created a palace school to which he invited talented scholars from every region to give lectures. A representative scholar is Alcuin from Britain. Number 2, the Holy Roman Empire. 1. The of Empire. A. After Charlemagne's death, Charlemagne's great empire was divided. His son Louis the Pious acceded to the throne after his death, but he was a good person who did not know how to rule a nation. Thus, the papacy rose to power again. B. Louis the Pious had 3 sons, and after his death, the 3 sons, after much conflict, signed the Treaty of Verdun, which divided the territory into 3 pieces. The oldest son, Lothar I, became Emperor of Italy and the Central Franks. Next son became king of the Eastern Franks. The third son, Charles, became king of the Western Franks. C. Following the death of Lothar I, his 3 sons divided the territory. Louis II became king of Italy, and the 2 other sons, according to the Treaty of Mersenne, divided between themselves the East and West kingdoms of the Franks. In this way, Charlemagne's nation was divided in a complicated way, and it became a nation of turmoil. Number 2, a nation of turmoil. A. Invasions from the outside. 900, the Normans invaded from the north and established the Norman kingdom. The Saracens invaded the south. In the 10th century, the Hungarians invaded the land as well. B. Domestic turmoil. As the 3 brothers did not get along with each other, they stopped communicating with one another. Furthermore, as domestic feudalism saw a rapid development, people started having conflicts with each other. Thus, they fell into a dark age in which they could not find any trace of civilization. Number 3, the establishment of the Holy Roman Empire. A. Otto I established the Holy Roman Empire. Otto I was the 3rd king of the Eastern Franks. He continued Charlemagne the Great's work by linking his support for Christianity to the building of his kingdom. He beat off foreign invasions and suppressed the uprising of feudal lords. He had Bohemia and Poland surrender to him, and by dispatching troops to Italy, Otto I was able to help the Pope of the Holy Roman Empire. Because of Otto I's deeds, he was called the Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. Pope John XII praised Otto I's contributions, and on February 2nd, 962, the Pope crowned Otto I as Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. Afterwards, the King of East Rome was qualified to serve as King of Italy as well. Through this, the nation grew in power and it became stronger. See Otto II and Otto III, along with the Pope, focused on policies for Italy. For this reason, the feudal lords in Germany grew in power, which caused the nation to be divided. Number 3, the Pope. 1. The Isidorian documents. A. This was a collection of the decrees of all the past popes. It was believed that Isidore had written these documents, but it was later revealed that this person did not write them. For this reason, it came to be called the Pseudo-Isidorian Decretals. B. The content of the Isidorian documents. 1. Church rules and letters of the bishops of in them. Number 2. It contains Donatio Constantini ad Silvestrum. In other words, this says that Constantine the Great donates the land of Rome and most of the land of Italy. This is known to be a forged document. Number 3. The documents also say that because church positions are specific ranks given by God, they cannot be tried on this earth. Number 4. Because the Pope is the greatest judge of such disputes, no one but God is above him. C. Pope Nicholas I was a very talented man, and by using the Isidorian documents, he was able to realize his ideals. Number 2. Internal corruption. This was an age when the church became internally corrupt. People of Italy who had the authority of the Pope and the people of Germany created separate parties and tried to produce a pope from their own party. The pope went as far as to become the lover of a wealthy widow by the name of Theodora, who used the pope as a toy. This Theodora had two daughters. The older daughter, Marozia, had a lover as well. This became pope and came to be called Sergius III. Next, Theodora's lover ascended the throne and reigned for 15 years as John X. Marozia married a man named Alberic, and their son ascended to the papacy under the name Johannes the 11th. However, the younger brother of Johannes the 11th killed him and elected 4 popes. He was then able to take power. But after that, Octavian, son of Johannes the 11th, took on the name of Johannes the 12th and became pope. This the 12th crowned Otto I as emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. Afterwards, the Roman Catholic Church continued to sell church positions and plotted conspiracies to kill people. This history of sin continued until the middle of the 10th century. Number 4. Evangelizing Northeast Europe. 1. Evangelizing Scandinavia. A. We have the evangelist Ansgar. Ansgar was a German king who was educated at the Corbie Monastery in France. In 827, Ansgar followed King Harold of Denmark but his enemies drove him out. Invited by the King of Sweden, he evangelized Sweden. A year and a half later, he went to Rome, where he was appointed by the Pope as Bishop of Denmark and Sweden. But Sweden was left to Gausbert. He himself evangelized Denmark. B. In 1008, Swedish King Scott Konung was baptized, and the nation became a Christian nation. C. King Harald of Denmark established the area of the Bishop of Denmark. D. Norway. At around 995, Olaf Tryggvason, King of the Sea, secured a powerful kingship and worked hard to spread Christianity, but he died in battle against Denmark. Olaf Haraldsson had Christianity firmly take root. Number 2, evangelizing the Slavs. A. Evangelizing Moravia. In 863, the brothers Cyril and Methodius began evangelizing. Due to the petition of the king of Moravia, Emperor Michael III sent the two. Cyril and Methodius were fluent in the Slavic language, and they were obedient to the Pope. In 4 years, because of their ability to speak the Slavic language, the two were summoned by the Pope. However, Cyril died, and his older brother Methodius was the only one to go there. In the year 900, the king was dethroned, and Methodius fled to the southern region of Moravia. B. Evangelizing Bohemia. Because this place was politically and geographically very close to Moravia, they were able to evangelize without many problems. They established the area of the Bishop of Prague. Their worship was held in the Latin style, and they came to be affiliated with the Roman Catholic Church. C. Evangelizing Bulgaria. In 864, Chief Boris Khan requested to Michael III that he send him a bishop and that he baptize him. He later was baptized. 2 years later, he once again asked the Frank King Louis and Pope Nicholas to send him a bishop. Bulgaria later came to be affiliated with the Eastern Church. Evangelizing Russia. In 862, Rurik, the founding father, selected Novgorod as the capital. Rurik's daughter-in-law, Olga, served as regent for her young son from 945 to 963. Olga was a devout believer who was baptized in Constantinople in 957. Olga's grandson, Vladimir I, became a Christian and declared Christianity the official religion of Russia. Vladimir I sent a mission to each nation. Seeing the Hagia Sophia Cathedral in Constantinople and its decoration and solemn worship, Vladimir built his own place of worship. He erected many churches and brought up church officers. He was baptized in 988. Vladimir did his best to import the Byzantine culture. Number 5. Doctrinal disputes. Number 1. Communion. They supported the idea of transubstantiation. In 831, Paschasius Radbertus wrote De corpore et sanguine domini to give shape to the idea of transubstantiation. This doctrine was decided upon at the Council of the Lateran in 1215, and it is officially by the Roman Catholic Church today. Number 2. Resistance to superstitious faith. Number 1. Claudius. Claudius from Spain was the Bishop of Turin. He was opposed to the worship of saints, the worship of images, and the privileges of Rome. He was protected by his brother Emperor Louis until he died in 839. Number 2. Agobard. Agobard was Archbishop of Lyon. He was against worshipping images and the custom of unjust judgment. He denied that the Bible's words and language were inspired. He died in 840. The heretical Bogomils. The Bogomils believed in dualism. They said that the god Sataniel created man, and that the God who saved mankind is Logos. They advocated abstinence and labor and were against war. They also divided believers into two categories. First were regular believers, and second were perfect believers. They claimed that perfect believers were those who did not marry, eat meat, or drink alcohol. Their leader Basil was executed, but they continued to survive until the end of the 15th century. The split of the Eastern and Western churches. Number 1. The cause of the split. A. General causes. Number 1. Political reasons. At the time, the Eastern Roman Empire existed as it had, but the Western Roman Empire perished in 476. Number 2. Cultural reasons. They spoke different languages. The Eastern Roman Empire spoke Greek, while the Western Roman Empire spoke Latin. It was impossible for them to communicate. Number 3. Racial differences. Because they came from different peoples, they had different national characters to split. B. Associated causes. Number 1. The Eastern Roman Empire believed that they were the only successors of the Roman Empire. However, the Pope crowned Charlemagne the Great in 800 and said, "This man is emperor." Number 2. Ideological differences. The people of the Eastern Roman Empire based their lives on doctrine. They meditated, emphasized philosophy, and focused on the emperor. However, the Western Roman Empire valued the papacy and the law. Number 3. Doctrinal problems. This issue of theology. The people of the Eastern Roman Empire believed that the Holy Spirit came only from the Father, but the Western Roman Empire believed the Holy Spirit came from the Father and the Son. 4. The issue of worshipping icons. People of the Eastern Roman Empire were against worshipping icons. However, the people of the Western Roman Empire were for it. See immediate causes. The Pope and the Emperor of the Eastern Roman Empire were fighting for power. Number 1. The Emperor of the Eastern Roman Empire imprisoned Constantinople's Archbishop Ignatius for treason. Photius was selected to the Eastern Roman Empire, and in 861 the regional synod was held. It decided to depose Ignatius. However, the Pope had a regional synod in Rome where they acknowledged the deposed Ignatius as archbishop. The Eastern Roman Empire decided that the Pope was wrong in doing so. Number 2, the issue of the affiliation of the Church of Bulgaria. King Bogoris of Bulgaria thought, I will go to the east. Eventually, Bulgaria came to be affiliated with the Eastern Church. Number 2, the results. After the death of Philip at the inauguration of the Archbishop of Constantinople, a confession of faith was made to the Pope, and an important matter was evaluated. But in 1054, during the time of Archbishop Carolarius, churches belonging to the West were closed down and monks were banished. When the Bishop of Bulgaria joined in attacking the error of the papal authorities, the Pope deposed them. Therefore, on July 16, 1054, the Eastern Church and Western Church became completely separated. In 1453, Constantinople fell to the Ottoman Empire. That was when the Eastern Roman Empire perished. This concludes the